Hey folks, welcome back. This is Keith down Redwood Groves, and today we're going to start doing the underground piping for the aquaponics. We got to bury that tank, and we got to run the power line. So let's have some fun today. Got an excavator here rented, and let's make some fun. Okay, so here we are. We're trying to get this a little bit more graded. There was a high spot up there, and of course where I'm standing is a low spot, so we're getting that first before we get this tank done, so that when we can take that extra dirt and just put it on here, this low spot, and get it developed as best as possible. So here's where we're at. Alright, we've got the ground, pretty much the foundation, or alright, so we've got the ground pretty much to grade. We're digging the hole for the sump for the aquaponics. I got a 5-foot diameter sphere. It's 325 gallon capacity. So we got to go down about 5 feet and make it round. So that's what we're doing. We've, let's see, today is Saturday. Tuesday we got over 3 inches of rain from, I don't remember which hurricane. So the ground is a little moist, but not bad considering open roof and all the rain coming in here. So, but you can see it's sticking to the bucket a little. Alrighty, burying the tank. We will be coming in, the drain will be coming in this line, but to just get grade, we're going to cover everything up. It's all loose dirt. We'll just hand shovel it out when we start digging the ditches, and I'll just hand shovel out to this edge here. But right now, we're going to try to get all grade as best as possible. Stick with me. This is fun. Okay, so the tank is buried, and now we're digging the lines for the feed, the air, and the drain. So the drain's going to go right into there. We're going to drop down, put a fur coat fitting on it for any expansion or wiggling. You want to break the pipe. We're going to come down through here with a 3-inch. 3-inch is going to come here for the drain. We're going to tee off into here. That's going to go for the media beds. What we're digging right now is for the fish tanks line. That's going to come in here and tie into this 3-inch line also. So we're going to have one 3-inch line. That's the way I'm thinking anyways. I could put another one in there, but I'm going to do some calculations, but the 3-inch line should be able to handle all the water flow through there, gravity feed. And then we're going to come over here. This is going to be the water line and the air line for the floating rafts. So we're going to come up here. Floating raft's going to go down to here, and the drain's going to go down there and again attach into the drain line underneath the media beds. So we're going to have some drain line there, water for the fish, air for the fish, just drain and water through here, and feed here for the media or for the floating beds, and then drain right there. We are almost done with all the digging inside the greenhouse. Hallelujah. Greenhouse, we are working on the underground water lines. Right now, we have the 3-inch drainage lines ran for the media beds and the fish tanks. Let me show you what we got. All right, so we got here is we're going to have line coming out of here going over here to the floating media bed that I still got to put in. But we've got a drain for one of the media beds, a drain for the second media bed, and a drain for the third media bed. It's tied in here and goes to the first swirl tank for the fish tank, the second swirl tank for the fish tank. Then over here, this first pipe coming up is going to be for the solids tank, mineralization tank, thank you. And this one here is going to be the third swirl tank for the third fish tank. getting ready now to run the 1-inch water lines to feed the 3 media tanks and the fish tanks, and then the floating raft area going down through here. We're going to bring them up on top and go over here for, right here is going to be the water tower, feeding all these lines through gravity feed. There will be a pump coming out of the sump area there, and it'll pump up into the water tower, and then the gravity will feed the rest of the tanks. So stick with me and we'll keep working this thing through. All right, so we're starting to run the 1-inch water line. So starting at the end, actually here on the media bed, there's the water line for the first media bed, and there's the second line for the media bed, and the third water line. So we got feed, drain, feed, drain, feed, drain. Now I'm working on the fish tanks. So I happen to know it's 8 foot between everything, so what I'm doing is 8-foot pipes, 2-foot extension. So I'm just putting the 2-foot extension on an elbow, put an 8-foot on a T, another 2-foot extension. I got another 8-foot piece here. I'll glue that on, and then I'll put the T on that. So that'll give me the feed from the back coming in, because I'm going to run all the 3 feed lines for the media beds going here. The other one for, I'm sorry, yeah, that's a media bed. The other one for the floating raft is going to come up here, feed the floating raft, drain down and tie into that 3-inch. And then these feed for the fish tanks are going to come down through here. All 3 are going to meet here, come up there, and again go into the header tank water tower. Alrighty? So I found this to work pretty decent for me to try to get these things squared, is using this wall. What I have right now, one man tried to make it easier, so I'm just gluing everything right here, lining it down, getting it good, and it's close enough for what we got here, and you can get a little twist if you need it, and we can put it in. So stick with me, getting closer. Alrighty, to give you an update, here we are. We have the water feed for tank 1, swirl tank and drain. We have the biogas. We have feed for tank 2, swirl tank for tank 2, swirl tank for tank 3, and then the feed for tank 3. We have water feed. This one's feeding the fish tank, this one's feeding the media beds, and this one's feeding the floating rafts. Coming down through here, going over to the floating rafts, and then we already showed you on this. So all I have left is the swirl tanks to the biogas mineralization tank. Yeah, sorry, getting my words mixed up. The mineralization tank, I have to get that set up. I have the 1.5-inch lines for that, and I still have to run the drain over there over to the floating rafts. But for today, we are done. I think I'm calling it a day. I need to get a few more pieces of pipe, but so day for me, only a few seconds for you guys. Alrighty, so I put a fernco fitting in this just to give. I'm not a big fan of these, and I definitely don't really like them underground, but there's really no good solution here. You need to allow the tank to have a little bit of wiggle move based on water settling on there, and if you just plumb this solid rock into it ground, you have a better chance of cracking the pipe. So the fern cone fitting is in here, and what we'll do is we'll allow that to transfer the water in. I put a bulkhead, 3-inch bulkhead MPT fitting onto that, and I put another, I don't know if you can see it, I put another 3-inch MPT fitting on that. I put a piece of pipe on there, and I put a little 45 on that to allow it the water to fan out a little bit to get more aeration when we get a higher flow. I'm hoping that'll give us a little extra fanning versus just a big spout of water coming out. It's glued, so we'll give it a chance and see what happens with it, but if not, I can always modify that, and we'll go from there. But that's pretty much the end of the plumbing underground anyways. I'm going to start covering this all up so that we can start putting stone down on the ground, and we can start putting fish tanks in, swirl tanks, and the media beds in, floating raft in. So that's it for now. If you like, Give me that thumbs up. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it if you do that. And share with a friend. See you in the next video.